Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury, and today guys, I want to talk to you about buying goods from overseas. And I want to tell you a bit of a just, I wouldn't say disaster story, but I want to make you aware. And this is regarding claiming back duty and GST taxes if you've bought an item. Let me explain further. I bought a watch from Japan, and when it came to me, it was sent via DHL. Now, DHL is a priority. They get priority clearance from Border Force. That's the customs people. Now, the only thing is, what that means is they make sure they collect every dollar and tax and duty that they want to keep that special priority arrangement. They got to be the police basically for customs. So they never let nothing sneak through. So if you are sending goods from overseas and you're using DHL, FedEx, one of those premium courier companies, you're gonna probably be paying the duty and taxes. Let me explain that. It doesn't matter if you say returned, repair, or something like that, which usually gets through. They're pretty damn on the ball. Now, in my case there, I don't cheat the taxes. I think you've just got to factor that in. You've got to do, factor that in. I bought a watch from Japan. It was a lady's Cartier. I bought it from Japan, and it was about 3,100 Australian dollars. What's that? It was about 2,300 US dollars. 2,300 US. It's always, when you put it through your credit card, they charge you foreign currency fee and da 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 da. But that's okay. So it cost me about $3,100. And the company I bought it off, they offer a 14-day, no questions asked, return privilege. So if you get the watch and you're not happy, you can return it for whatever reason, providing you haven't worn the watch, used the watch, damaged the watch, or lost bits like paperwork or stuff like that. It's got to be sent back as you got it. Which is fair enough. Anyhow, I got this watch, and it's a quartz Cartier, and these watches are also, unfortunately, pretty faked. There's a lot of fake, really good super fake watches. They're very much like the Panerai genre, where a lot of really good fake Panerais were coming out. This had a few red flags. And I took it to a watch dealer friend of mine who looked at it and he said, you know what? It is a quartz, the Cartier is sort of a quartz ETA based quartz movement. He said, this is what this is. He wasn't happy on the dial, and some of the engraving I wasn't happy with. There's a few little red flags. And I just said, you know what? I paid high for this watch. I'll just send it back. And that's exactly what I did. I sent it back by, actually, I don't have an arrangement with DHL. I decided to send it back via EMS, Express Courier International. That was just easy. You could just go to the post office and send it. I packed it all up and sent it back. And they gave me a return authorization number, the seller. They were actually quite good. No worries, you send it back. As long as you haven't, they just say, as long as it's what we sent you, we'll give you your money back. They were very honourable. There was no problems at all. They said fine, so I sent it back to them, and they got it the next day or so. They said, yes, got the watch back, happy to refund in full. Then a couple of days later, it hit my credit card. And then I thought, you know what? I should look at getting the taxes and duties back. So on this watch cost me $3,000. It actually cost me $3,100 plus another $100 in conversion fees, $3,200. Plus then the taxes. Listen to this. The GST on the importation was $310.87. The Australian government charges were $88. The disbursement fee, that's what DHL handles to act as your shipping courier, was $20. So that came to $420.87. So then I then went back to DHL because they're the ones who charged me. I paid them the GST, the government charges, and their disbursement fee. I went back to them, and they said, "Oh no, nothing to do with us. We simply collected the money and passed it on to the government. You need to go to." In Australia, it's called Border Force, and claim it back. You need to go to Border Force and claim this back. And unfortunately, Border Force is the same people who handle return visas. So there's 30,000, because of this COVID, there's 30,000 Aussies around the world desperately trying to come back home. Well, they actually go through, Border Force handles that process. So you can imagine trying to ring them on the phone. Quite a complicated, how do I put it politely? It's quite a bureaucratic process. And unfortunately with Border Force, so I couldn't really talk to anyone. They had a form to fill out. They had a form to fill out to claim this back. So I'm sort of going blind here, flying blind. And they said I need to fill out a B653 form. Now, the thing is, with Border Force, being a government department, they kind of have one size fits all. So to claim my GST and duty back, I got to fill a B653 out. So that is, let's count the pages there. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. It's a 4-page document. This is the refund application form for Border Force. So, and it's unfortunately, in typical government style, one size fits all. So whether I've lost a shipping container or a shipping container was damaged and I'm claiming duty back, or whether it's one lousy lady's watch I'm claiming back, same form for everything. And it's unfortunately, you don't realize how complicated this is. It asks you things like line number, refund reference. It asks you preference origin country, preference scheme type, preference rule type, instrument number, instrument type, it goes tariff classification instruments. What the hell? Valuation basis type, retail, establishment code, treatment code, GST, exemption code, tariff tariff classification number, valuation elements, type, amount, and currency. I sort of can fluff my way. So you can understand it's actually quite complicated to fill this out. And I then had a bit of a dispute with them. I must admit, I'm a bit of a rookie. I haven't really dealt with, normally when I buy something from overseas, I want it. I don't really, am looking at claiming it back. In this case here, I wasn't happy with it, and I thought, you know what, best if I get my money back. This is the first time I've actually done this. And the thing is, the real danger is, did you know, just because you may have, say you change your mind on something, that doesn't mean the government can give you your money back. No, 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 no. Just because you've sent it back, because I thought if you send it back, you're entitled to get your money back. No, you have to have a valid reason. A valid reason. And I got to be totally honest with you. If you just change your mind, you're not entitled to get your duty and taxes back. A valid reason could be if the item didn't meet specification. Again, these are more container shipping terminology. Because I said to the border force, I said, look guys, I think the watch was counterfeit. Okay, and I showed them my correspondence with the seller, and they turned around, border force turned around and said to me, so I sent them everything. I tried to be as helpful as possible. I sent them copies of my return receipt with tracking to prove I'd sent it back. I'd sent them a copy of the charges that I paid, which DHL billed me. I sent them copies of correspondence I had with the supplier agreeing to give me a refund. I sent copies of tracking numbers, tracking notes, photo even of the parcel, sending it back. I tried my best to send absolutely everything back to these people. In the end, they came back to me and said, this is what they said to me. The fact that you received the refund is not evidence the watch was counterfeit, because you need to have an excuse. You need to have a reason. Please provide further evidence, for example, a statement from the seller agreeing the watch is counterfeit and was refunded accordingly. Now, the problem is no reseller is going to admit their thing was anything. They're going to admit absolutely no liability. And I got really quite angry about the whole situation. I felt that they were trying to weasel out of giving me my money back, which may or may not have been the case. But I basically said, I said to them, this is what I said. I said, dear so-and-so, hello so-and-so, I returned the watch as it came with a 14-day return privilege. I was unhappy with the watch and returned the item as I was not satisfied. Regardless of whether the watch is genuine or counterfeit, I returned the item to the original seller overseas for a full refund. The item was returned to Japan, and now they have refunded my money in full. I now seek a refund of the customs duty and GST charges. I sent this item back, and regardless of the reason, the important fact is that it was returned to the original country of origin. Now this is what I said. I said, are you telling me my application for a refund is being refused? If so, I wanted to escalate it. Now, I actually had a supervisor rang me, and they explained to me, they were actually quite nice. They said to me, if you don't have a valid reason, you don't get your money back. You don't get your money back. I thought, shit. See, I'm so used to this world we live in. You get everything back. The customer's always right. This is a different world we're dealing in. And I got to be totally honest with you. That isn't always the case. That isn't always the case. So I just want to make this video and let you guys know, if you import things from overseas with DHL or FedEx, because of their priority status with customs, they're going to make sure you pay all the duty, okay? And if you've got a bullshit reason to try and avoid the duty, like it was a gift, or it was a gift, it was a returned repair, something like that, they ain't buying one iota of it. They ain't buying nothing. They are not buying a damn thing. Believe you me, they will not accept that as a valid reason. So I can tell you this now, you've got to be very, very, very aware of this situation. I didn't realize this, because what happens is you may get a refund for the watch, which I certainly did, but you're not necessarily going to get a refund on your taxes or duties, okay? Because the rules are pretty damn hard. It's not, and the thing is, this is not consumer. This is not consumer. This is not consumer. You can take it a small claim. The government taxes, they're outside that. So customs and duties, it can be a pretty tricky thing. And this is another reason why it's difficult to deal with overseas suppliers. Now, does that mean I'm not going to deal with overseas again? No, I will, but you've got to be careful. You have to be careful, because it's so easy to get the wrong thing happening. So I just wanted to explain that. And let you know my story. Because if you're not aware of this, man, you can get really, really whacked. Really whacked on these kind of costs. If you didn't know this, this can be a really nasty surprise. Very, very nasty indeed. So just because you might get a refund on the watch doesn't mean you necessarily will get a refund on the taxes or duties. And in my case, I'll tell you exactly what happened. So this was it ended up costing me $3,200 for the watch. $3,200 for the watch. Guess what? Because the currency had changed from when I bought it until when they refunded the money, I was actually out about $100. I had to send the item back, which cost me $48.60. And my refund was for $310, and I paid $420 because they didn't refund the DHL fee, of course, and the government charges. They don't refund that. They refunded the GST, but they don't refund the government fee. So just be aware of that. Be aware of that, and bit of due diligence, I suppose. I kind of rushed in. I made a few mistakes. Thankfully, it ended well in the sense I got my money back, and I got most of my money back on the watch, and I got most of my money back on the taxes. So I was probably out $250. Yeah, $250, but that does hurt, but I'm glad I got the bulk of it back. And just be careful. Be very careful. I'm ArchieLuxury. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and be safe, guys. Hey guys, check out one of my best friends, Jamie Opulence, on YouTube. Just go to Jamie Opulence on YouTube. A fantastic channel from my good friend Jamie. Check it out, guys. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Guys, I want to introduce a new service to you. ValueYourWatch.com. Proud supporters of ArchieLuxury. No seller's fees, no buyer's fees. That's right, guys. This is a trading platform to buy or sell watches. You can start selling for free. That's right. We advertise our paying for our paying subscribers on Google, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's a global platform. That's right, guys. Get $50 off the annual subscription by applying the coupon Archie when you check in there. But guys, you can try this for free straight away. Guys, you can start listing watches. ValueYourWatch.com. Give it a try and tell me what you guys think of that.
Feeling me, all these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me, all these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me, all these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me.
Like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and don't be afraid to get a paid review. $50 for a paid review. It helps me stay full-time on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. $50 paid review. I can't survive on Google Ads. I need your support. And guys, you could also sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay as little as $1 a month to keep me on YouTube. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.